Mercenaries are like fire. Used wisely, they can power a steam engine. Used unwisely, they burn down the whole village.
There's a secret fighting force let loose in war zones that's above international law and fighting in your name. Global superpowers like the US, Russia, and others are paying companies to fight for them. So what can go wrong when armed civilians are doing the work of the military? Hey guys, I'm Shreen, and this Sunday on AJ Plus, we're looking into the multi-billion-dollar industry of private military contracting and how modern warfare gets a lot more complicated when you pay someone else to fight for you. Remember Afghanistan? The US has been partially outsourcing the war there for 16 years and counting. The secretive fighting forces go by a lot of names: private military contractors, paramilitary groups, and more bluntly, mercenaries. But they're all pretty much the same: armed civilians in battle zones, engaging in military conflict, and making lots of money. The mercenary option is being used by Vladimir Putin, with fighters in Ukraine and Syria, by Nigerian leaders to combat Boko Haram, and even in the US, when the private firm Tiger Swan was hired to spy on pipeline protesters at the Standing Rock Reservation. And this type of fighting force is not new. To find out more, we talked to Sean McFate, a former mercenary. He clued us into the history stretching all the way back to the Middle Ages.
For centuries, they were underground, they were in the shadows in places like the Congo and Africa and so forth. But the US military, of all people, of all organizations, has resurrected mercenaries in the wars of Iraq and Afghanistan.
After serving as a US Army officer, Sean worked for a private security firm in Liberia and Burundi.
There are more mercenaries around. They have more connections, more experience, they're veterans, and they are much more powerful than they were even 20 years ago.
So the US is no stranger to the concept of mercenaries. The country has contracted armed forces as far back as World War II. During the recent wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's estimated that the proportion of contractors to troops leapt to as much as 50%. Most of them were hired to cook meals or translate for the military, but some of them did engage in combat. No one knows with certainty exactly how many of these mercenaries are on the ground today because the US government doesn't keep track. And that obscurity is intentional. They're essentially an invisible fighting force. It's one of the reasons the US military likes to use contractors, according to McFate.
They don't count as casualties. Americans get really upset if we increase boots on the ground in a place like Afghanistan, and they get even more upset when our soldiers come back in body bags. But nobody asks about private military contractor deaths. Nobody tracks it, nobody even knows.
Another reason the US military likes to hire mercenaries is that it allows the military to have a zero footprint. That means you can't trace responsibility for a risky mission or civilian deaths back to the US government.
They provide plausible deniability. What that means is when a mercenary does something bad, the US government can just wash their hands and say, oh, those are bad mercenaries, that was a bad company.
But hold on. We're about to explain what that means for us right now. The Trump administration has been looking at using more private military contracts in Afghanistan and requested proposals from two people who donated big to his campaign. Eric Prince, ex-Navy SEAL and founder of the security firm Blackwater, donated $250,000 to Trump's campaign and the party. And in the previous two wars, Blackwater mushroomed to a billion-dollar contracting giant. His new company would likely profit from the latest push in Afghanistan. And money talks. Eric Prince's sister, Betsy DeVos, donated about $2.7 million to Trump's campaign, and now holds a cabinet-level position as education secretary. If it was up to Eric Prince, his company would take over the entire military operation in Afghanistan. And let's not forget about Trump's other influential donor, Steven Feinberg, the owner of DynCorp. He and his wife paid about $2.2 million to the group supporting Trump. And his company, DynCorp, already made $2.5 billion from the State Department training the police force in Afghanistan. Even Trump's chief of staff, John Kelly, was a DynCorp advisor before joining the administration. So why is it so problematic these companies have a direct line to the White House? There is almost zero accountability for corporations in this business. The world of private security contracting isn't regulated like a government agency, and that's dangerous for a few reasons. First, visibility. Agencies like the Department of Defense have mandatory reporting obligations by nature of being in the public sector, and DoD decisions can be openly scrutinized. And second, Congresspeople have to answer to their constituents and are under constant pressure to end the unpopular wars abroad. Private firms are free of these pressures, and they want to keep fighting.
Mercenaries breed conflicts. Mercenaries are incentivized to start wars or elongate them. They don't have to obey your authority, and they can even work against you. They can be underbought by your enemy.
Another reason the increased use of mercenaries might cause problems: when you hire private security firms, everything they do is proprietary, and there are few consequences when things go wrong. Remember these disturbing images from Abu Ghraib in Iraq? The US-run military prison became infamous after private military contractors and others carried out abuses. Prisoners were stripped naked and electrocuted. 256 Iraqis sued the firms CACI International and Titan Corporation for war crimes and cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. But the Supreme Court shut down the case in 2011. Another case against CACI International is still ongoing. Then there's the Nisour Square massacre in Iraq in 2007. Blackwater contractors opened fire on civilians, killing 17 people and wounding 20. The incident sparked at least 5 investigations. But Blackwater was never sentenced, and the US government is still working with its current incarnation. Michael Ratner, a human rights attorney who worked on many of these cases at the Center for Constitutional Rights, told MSNBC,
"There's a culture essentially of impunity, of allowing excessive use of force, allowing reckless use of force, that encourages Blackwater employees to kill innocent people."
Even if the US reversed its strategy and eliminated military contractors in Afghanistan, it wouldn't change the reach of the global industry.
This is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is growing, and it's not going to go away. I think.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth and making their body a living sacrifice for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp, and in that video that you just seen is the nature of the wicked, okay, these so-called white people, all right? They, in terms of warfare on the planet, they will go to great lengths to achieve their goal by even hiring mercenaries, or what they would say private contractors. All right. So let me get to the first scripture. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 35. "I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree." Right, man. All right. These so-called white people, the wicked, all right, who are known as the biblical Edomites. Okay. They spread themselves like a green bay tree. All right. And they are consistently in other lands, okay, consistently starting wars or prolonging wars. Why? To make money, okay, to profit. All right, and that's what this video, okay, what you're seeing is talking about. How these so-called white people, these Edomites, okay, warfare equals profit. All right, that's why war will never stop. All right, as long as the so-called white man's in power. Let me get to the first article that I pulled up, because this is what led me to make this video. This is private contractors are doing all of America's dirty work. Washington is fighting a lot more conflicts than the public knows, and is done with a black budget and private armies. Right, man? And that's the so-called white man's MO, okay? He will consistently, all right, do everything behind the shadows, all right? And create war and havoc, and then lead a bullshit propaganda on your national television, telling you, oh, this is the reason why a war is starting, because of these people, not knowing it's the so-called white man causing all these problems, man, with their mercenaries or private contractors, they like to say. It goes on and says, "It is no secret that the last couple decades saw an abrupt increase in the number of private military companies or private security contractors, the so-called PMCs. Their overall budgets, of some of which can easily surpass the military budget of certain sovereign states." Yeah, certain countries, man. All right, you just seen this this jabroni right here, this Edomite, okay, saying that is a multi-billion-dollar industry, okay? Certain states, okay, certain countries around the world don't even make, their GDP doesn't even make billions of dollars, okay? And this is just a private organization, man, making billions of dollars, man, $1 billion industry. So let's go back to the article. All right, it says the turning point in the creation of those companies occurred in 1995 during the military operations conducted by the armed forces of Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina against the Serbian troops when the right to carry on hostilities was outsourced by a number of security contractor firms. Right, man, it's been going on since, okay, the 90s and even prior to that, because in the other video it says going back to World War II. All right, there can be no second opinion about Washington's being the most adept at employing the PMC concept. Since with the number of wars the U.S. has been waging against other states, the Pentagon needs spare hands to do the dirty work so that Washington's official losses are kept to a minimum, right? Because they don't want to cause a hysteria amongst the sheep here in America, the damn maggots that go to work and continue in their folly and care less about these wars, all right? And as long as the numbers seem low, oh, one U.S. soldier died, that's nothing. Okay, that's one loss. All right, and that's how these maggots in America think, man, not knowing that these private contractors are waging war in their name and causing nothing but hostility, nothing but more conflict, more problems. All right. American intelligence agencies were quick to comprehend in the mid-90s they would need a lot of private contractors if they were to carry out their dubious operations across the globe over the next couple of decades. Therefore, the Pentagon started motivating various companies to outsource a wide range of military tasks. As a result, over the last decade alone, the U.S. military departments has signed more than 3,000 contracts with private military contractors. All right, that's a lot. Okay. All right, that goes to show you that the so-called white man is the wicked man. He's the devil, man. All right. And as long as this cracker stays in power, the wars will continue to keep going, all right? So you clowns talking about peace, there'll never be peace until the so-called white man's out of his rulership, all right? Let's get another scripture. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, okay? Right, who's ruling the earth today? The so-called white man. Just Friday's this video and this, okay, news article proves that the so-called white man is the wicked, okay? And it was given into his hand to rule what? One, to condemn himself, and number two, to fulfill prophecy, all right? To show who the wicked is, all right? He covered the face of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? Right, man, he covered the face of the true judge, man. First, who the world only calls Jesus because he's a so-called black man, all right? And number two, his people, man, all right? Because until his people are ruling, okay, on the earth and in authority, okay, war will continue to happen. War will continue to be profitable, all right, by these devils, man, all right? Once again, proving that the so-called white man is the devil, is the wicked, okay, is Edom, according to the Bible. All right, so now let's go and continue on with this article. Slovakia. Let me skip down to here. It says, according to rough estimates, the private military contractor's market value exceeds $150 billion. Right, like the other jabroni just said. All right, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. As for the continuous increase in the actual number in their value, it can be attributed to an ever-expanding share of secret operation deals among those that Washington keeps on signing. Although the existing U.S. legislation has set in tone the principle that the most complex and sensitive tasks shouldn't be fulfilled by private organizations, when it comes to the situation on the ground, we witness quite the opposite happening, right? Because the so-called white man's the devil. He's a liar. He's a deceiver, okay? He says one thing, but his actions, okay, and his track record says otherwise, all right? Let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Right, that's the so-called white man, all right? He has a wicked spirit on him, right? All right, he has gone out into the earth, okay, with a wicked spirit on him, okay, because he was created to be the wicked, all right? And everything he does is not upright. Everything he does is based off of lies and deceit and wickedness, all right? But the just shall live by his faith, right? And that's the elect, man, because by faith, okay, And by believing these scriptures, we understand who the wicked is. We understand, okay, that it's America that's causing a problem. And we understand that America has to be destroyed, okay, in order for the wars, in order for the insanity to stop, okay? And the so-called white man has to get out of power. It's a must. It's a must that this devil has to get out of power, man, all right? Verse 5, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, right? Through his wicked philosophies, man. He's a proud man. That's talking about the so-called white man. Profiting off of war, okay? Creating a multi-billion-dollar industry by private contractors, man. He is a proud man, right, man? Who is this talking about? All right? Who is the one that's the face when it comes to reasons why we got to go to war? Reasons why, okay, setting a propaganda narrative, okay, that, oh, these are the reasons. These are the issues that are they're being developed. It's not us. It's them. All right. It's this devil, the so-called white man. And here's the proof: neither keepeth at home. Whose military is out abroad throughout the four corners of the earth? Okay. You can't say it's the Arabs. All right. The Arabs are out there fighting amongst each other in the Middle East. Okay. They're out there blowing each other up. You can't say it's the Chinese. Okay. You can't, the Chinese are in their land, okay, over there in the South China Sea. What race of people cannot keep at home, okay, who has bases throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? It's you so-called white people, man. It's you Caucasian cave dwellers, man, okay? It's you wicked people, man, who enlarges his desire as hell, right, man? You bring nothing but affliction, man. Okay? And your desire is as hell, man, because wherever you go, you bring nothing but hell, man. And is as death, right? You bring death to the world, you so-called white people, all right? And cannot be satisfied. You can't be satisfied, man. You make money off of war. You make money off of blowing people up. That's you so-called white people. Raytheon, General Dynamics, okay? Lockheed and Martin, Boeing, okay? Here are your private contractors. One was them, what? Academy, what was the name of it? Slovakia. Academia, all right, which was formerly known as Blackwater, right here, okay? These other various contractors, all right? It's you so-called white people, man. But gather and cannot be satisfied. And that's the key point. If this ain't talking about the so-called white man, okay, who else is it talking about? All right. In fact, let's get to the book of Obadiah. You know, that just popped. See, that's the spirit, man. Always got to come up with another scripture just to prove the case. All right. Book of Obadiah. Bear with me. All right. Book, we'll start at Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Right. The pride of thy heart, okay? And this is first Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom, okay? Edom, all right? We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us arise up against her in battle, right, man? Because these nations are going to go to war against you crackers, man, because they see who the problem is, all right? But let me jump down to 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? If it ain't the so-called white man, okay, that has pride in his heart, that says, who shall bring me down? I have the strongest military, okay? I have bases all over the world, all right? I have intercontinental ballistic missiles, okay? I've been creating private contractors, okay? Mercenaries to go, private military contractors, mercenaries to go fight in all the various continents. All right, who's gonna bring me down? Verse 4: Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest among the stars. Right, who's out there shooting nukes into the sky? All right, and Slovakia not shooting nukes. Who's shooting hopping in rockets, Slovakia, and flying into the stars, right? Slovakia, the stars, into space, all right? At their space station, all right? Who's doing all that, all right? You so-called white people, all right? Yeah, and then you lied saying you landed on the moon, which we know that's bullshit. But you've been, shooting your rockets into space, building your space stations, okay? Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right, because right now this truth is coming out, is bringing you down, as well as these nations are waking up. They seeing who the real devil is, so-called white man. But here's the key point, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Right, the Lord is making an example, explaining an example of a thief. A thief, when he comes into the house, all right, he takes what he needs and he leaves, all right? It goes on and says, would they not have stolen till they had enough? Right. They would have took what they needed. They needed a TV. They needed a PlayStation 4, right? Look at Jake, for example. Jake, he'd take like a TV. He'd take like a PS4, all right? Maybe a computer. Yeah, he'll take a computer, right? But the so-called white man, what he does is he not only takes the TV, the computer, okay, the PlayStation 4, he wants to take your furniture. He wants to take your house. He wants to take your land, okay? He wants your soul because now he wants to chip people, okay? That's the so-called white man, all right? And he uses various of government, okay, departments to do so. For example, the IRS. Here it is, the fucking IRS. You don't pay your taxes. They want your goddamn, okay, blood. They kick your door down. They take your TV. They take your furniture, all right? They take everything that's inside your house. They take your house. Okay, they take your land. That's the so-called white man. All right. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Right, man. All right. So-called white man. When he takes shit, man, he's not satisfied, man. He wants everything and then some. All right. That's why when you read Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, and cannot be satisfied. Right. This so-called white man cannot be satisfied. You done went out through the four corners of the earth conquering, okay? All right, just like your ancestor Alexander the Great, all right? The Macedonian, which we'll get into, all right? You what now? The Renaissance, right? Let's look at now the Renaissance. You went out colonialism, all right? But you still can't be satisfied. You renamed lands, all right? World War II, you broke up the Middle East during World War I, Slovakia, during World War I, all right? And you still can't be satisfied. You have to still send mercenaries, okay, private military contractors to continue waging wars and being profitable. All right, that's why it goes and says, but gather unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Right, man. You gather all the nations, okay, onto yourself, man, with these wars, man, with your philosophy. All right. And that's why there is no peace here, man, because you so-called white people, you're the wicked. All right. Let's continue on with this article. Go on and says, the notion has recently been confirmed by the Daily Mail as it reported on the activities of the Academi PMC, which was formerly known under its scandalous name of Blackwater. According to these revelations, Academi, okay, contractors were engaged in torturing and physically abusing the member of the Saudi royal family, and those businessmen who were detained along with them in Saudi Arabia in early November. According to the publication, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman personally participated in the said interrogation thanks to the dubious services provided to him by Academi. As a result of these interrogations, the Crown Prince received a total of $194 billion in voluntary donations from these whom he was questioning. You know, you see that? Shakedown, man. That's what these crackers know how to do. Take shit, man. All right? And then they go into these other countries and they pay these. That's how you know Saudi Arabia ain't the ones in powership, in the rulership. Okay? Who's the wicked on the earth? So-called white man. All right? What's other have they done? Oh, here in Ukraine. All right, let's jump down to what they're doing in Ukraine. Thus, in spite of Washington's continuous claim that there has been no instance of American lethal weapons being delivered to Ukraine, okay, Western PMCs have been delivering them to Ukraine for 2 years now, right, man? So the military isn't the American military, so to say, isn't delivering the military, isn't delivering the weapon. It's these private military contractors who are still linked to the American military. So it's the same. It's you so-called white people that are one causing the problem on the planet. All right. This is Proverbs 29:16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increase. Increase it, right, man? You wicked crackers, man. When you multiply since the Renaissance, man, transgressions have increased, okay? Evil, man. And you see it. You see it to this very day. Evils, okay? But the righteous shall see their fall, right, man? And we're seeing it too, man. By you engaging on all these wars, profiting off these wars, man, all you're doing is creating more turmoil, more chaos that you can't control, and you're going to fall, man. And you're seeing it, man. These nations are waking up to your bullshit, and they're going to go to war with you. That's why North Korea bucking up. That's why North Korea ain't backing down. China ain't backing down. Russia, okay, is not backing down, right? They see, and mainly it's America, man, all right? This is really America, man. America, they see your wickedness and your transgressions, man, and these nations are ready to pop off on y'all. All right. Let's go on to another article right here, just the same one, just to regurgitate, reiterate. Exclusive: American mercenaries are torturing Saudi elite, rounded up by new crown prince and billionaire Prince Al-Walid was hung upside down just to send a message. Right, this so-called white man, okay, out here fighting, okay, going into these other countries and torturing people, all right, and the America's like, hey, that ain't me. These are just mercenaries, and we're not going to tell you who, okay, what amount of money we're giving them, and we're not going to tell you what they're doing, okay, and so that's why you got to go to these other news articles to get this truth, man, all right. So back to condemning you so-called white people, especially here in America. Malachi 1 and 4. Let's start at 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Thus saith the Lord. Yeah, I love Jacob. Right, man. Jacob is the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American. All right. And you're looking like, is the Lord loving me? Look what he's allowing this so-called white man to do, and look how he's living, man. All right. But guess what? What you need to have a spiritual, okay, eyesight. What he's doing is for his own destruction. All right. And the only reason why he has these riches is because of war. Because Esau was given the sword. You can read that in the book of Genesis, I believe, around the 27th chapter. Okay. That's the only reason why the so-called white man, okay, is living in the conditions he's living in, because he only can rule through the sword, through war. Okay. You know what? Let me just get that for edification. Let me just get it for edification. Let me go to here. Genesis 27. Then let's get to the point. Jacob went to near this. Salakias, bear with me one moment. Yeah, here it is. So this is the Esau crying, okay, being a little bitch. All right. This is your father, you so-called white people. And he's crying to Jacob. To Isaac, his father. All right. It goes on and says, and I'll start right here. Let me start. Yeah. Genesis chapter 27, verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father. Right, so because Jacob got the blessing, okay, to rule the earth, okay, through his lineage, to have the kingdom of heaven. Esau wasn't given the blessing, all right, to have that. All right, Esau, you're going to see the blessing that Esau was given. That Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting. Verse 31. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. Verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. Verse 33. And Isaac trembled with exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him? Yea, and he shall be blessed. Verse 34. And when Esau heard those words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. Yeah, like a hoe, man. All right? Because you already gave up your birthright to Jacob, okay, when you said you were about to famish, all right? But you were being a little hoe, all right? You cried, all right? And you said unto his father, Bless me, even me also my father. Verse 35, and he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. No, you gave up your blessing. You gave up your birthright for a pottage, you lying bastard, Esau. That's the so-called white man. You see how he tried to lie to his father Isaac. All right. No, you gave it up. You maggot. You said what did it profit you for this birthright for red pottage? All right. Verse 36, and he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. Okay, no, he supplanted you the one time. The other time, you gave up your birthright, all right? He took away my birthright, and behold, he took away my birth. You see the devil, man? That's the so-called white man. He can't even, you were lying since your father, man, Esau, man, all right? You gave it up. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Verse 37. And Isaac answered, said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord. Right. Because Jacob, okay, which had his name changed to Israel, okay, is going to be the Lord over you so-called white man. Right. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, okay, is going to be the real lords over you crackers, man. You just got to accept it, all right? Because we're gonna get to the point why we seen your wickedness, man, through your mercenaries. Like you're unfit to rule, man. All right. Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine I have sustained him. And what shall I do unto thee, my son? Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, crying like a little bitch, man. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And here's the blessing that you crackers got. That's the reason why you consistently are at war, man. All right. Here's the reason why. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Right. This is your heaven. Okay. All right. So look at your heaven, man. It's nothing but war. Verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Exactly. And that's the key point. And by thy sword shalt thou live. Right. So the only way you're going to keep your power, you crackers, you so-called white people, is by war. And that's the reason why. Let's go back to Malachi. All right. Back to 1 and 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, Wherein hast thou loved him? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. Right, man. Because, all right, Esau, your blessing is to go out and fight and engage in war and combat to keep your power. All right. And that's what you so-called Negroes, Latinos need to understand. The so-called white man, the only reason why he's ruling is because of war. Verse 3. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right, that's when Rome fell. Okay, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build. Right, when did they start building? All right, because when Rome fell, that's when the dark nations started ruling. That's when Jake started ruling in Europe. All right, and the Byzantine Empire. All right, that's what they call it, the Dark Ages. But really, it was so-called black people ruling. Okay, and the so-called white man, he ran into the Caucasus Mountains like a little bitch. All right. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them, here's the point, the border of wickedness. Right. So you so-called white people, you Edomites, you are known as the border of wickedness. Everywhere you go, you bring wickedness. That's why war. all right? For your private contractors, bringing nothing but war and death, all right? Wickedness. That's you crackers, man, all right? That's your MO. That's your mode of operation. That's the spirit that's on you. It ain't upright, all right? But hey, it's all good because, you know, if you look at it spiritually, all you're doing is, all right, is doing what needs to be done to end your rulership, and we're seeing it now. The people against whom the Lord have indignation forever, right? And that cuts you maggots talking about don't abhor an Edomite, okay? You don't know the scriptures, man. The Lord just said right here, the people against whom the Lord have indignation with, right? Hatred, righteous hatred against, okay? So the Lord hates you so-called white people, plain. And if he hates you, we hate you, all right? Because we're supposed to be like our Father, all right? Okay? And we're joint heirs with Yahushai. So, and Yahushai is the image of who the world calls God. So, hey, he has the same, okay, spirit, okay, in terms of the will of what his Father wants, okay? And just like we have the same spirit of the will with our big brother and what our Father wants, all right? So if the Lord hates you, we hate you. If you can receive it, you can receive it. You can. Hey, it's all good, man. It is what it is, man. Anyway, this is for the elect. So let's continue on, all right? Because here's another reason why, all right, the so-called white man brings nothing but war and death, wickedness. U.S. to recognize Jerusalem as Israel capital will move embassy there. Trump to announce. Right. And this is a power move right here by this devil, Trump. Good job, Trump. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing, man. Bringing, okay, the end of your kingdom. All right. Because right now, by him doing this, all right, he literally slapped the shit, okay, metaphorically out of the Palestinians and said, okay, fuck your two-statehood, all right? What I'm gonna it's 11:44. Kaha Yahabashim Yahushai. All right. And that's spiritual. 144. But anyway, back to the program. All right. Donald Trump literally, okay, slapped the shit out of y'all metaphorically by saying, nah, we're gonna put the capital of Israel, the so-called Israeli state, in Jerusalem. So that means that no, America doesn't want to bring peace to the Middle East. America doesn't care about you Arabs, okay? America, okay, is doing exactly what it wants to do, and that's to bring nothing but death and destruction and mayhem, okay? And they're all for this Israeli statehood, all right? And they're going to fight to the death for this, to keep that land. So it's all literally a slap in the face to you Arab, you Ishmaelites, and that's funny. And here it is, the point right here. Trump notified Arab leaders on Tuesday that he intends to make the major change in calls to Palestine. President Mohammed Abbas, Jordan King Abdul, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and Saudi Arabia King Salman. Many of the leaders warned that unilateral U.S. steps on Jerusalem would derail a fledgling U.S.-led peace effort and unleash turmoil in the region. Right, because that's what the so-called white man wants. He wants to bring war. He wants to bring profit. All right, through these private contract military. See how it all full circle, man? So-called white man is the wicked. He's the devil. All right. If you can't see it, man, you're just a fucking idiot, man. All right. And that's just what it is. Let's continue on. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Right, man. Evils are increasing, man. And you see it, man. Through these wars, man. Through these tensions rising, all right? It's evils, man. And who's the one bringing the evils? The so-called white man, all right? And let's prove that you so-called white people, man, since you started gaining some power on this earth, you have brought nothing but evils onto it, all right? And let's look at your forefather for an example, all right? Because we got to bring examples out here. All right, about you so-called white people, all right? Especially here in America, man, because you're so proud. You're like, democracy. We need democracy. Well, let's see where democracy came from, okay? Another proof that this Bible is beautiful because it brings up historical documentation, history, all right? This is from the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1. And it happened after Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So this is when you crackers started gaining, okay, rulership on the planet, okay? When your daddy, okay, your forefathers, okay, Philip the Macedonian, okay, took down Darius the king, Persian on the Medes, right? And you can't say this didn't happen, all right? And that's how you know. You can't say the Bible's not real, because even your secular historians say, yes, the Persians and Medes fell under Philip the Macedonian. He's the one that conquered them, and that's how Greece came into power, all right? So that's another cut to you maggots saying the Bible ain't real, all right? Especially those that look at this as a joke, man. The Bible's so real. It's so powerful, man. And you maggots are going to see, okay, how real it is. Continuing on. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Right, man. Okay, and that was Alexander the Great, man. Okay, he came in and he just started slaughtering. Okay, and Slovakia, it was Alexander Philip who took down the Persians and the Medes. Okay, I want to correct that. All right, Slovakia. All right, I just wanted to retract my statement. All right, that was according to the scripture that says Alexander the son of Philip. Okay, the Macedonian. Okay, who his father Philip was out there fighting wars too. All right. So let me continue on. 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him. Right. So before you so-called white people came onto the scene, the earth was quiet. There wasn't as many wars as it is when you came into power. And look at your track. Look at today. Look how many conflicts there are because of you crackers, man. All right. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. Right. Once again, your pride, man. All right. And that pride, man, and that's your heart being lifted up by, oh, look at all these wars I fought. Look at all these people I conquered. All right. Verse 4, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. Right. Just like you're doing today, man. All right. You think by having a military base in another country that there's no type of tributary going to America. All right. Please, man, these nations are giving tributaries to these to America for having their base in their country. All right. Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. Right, and that's talking about the 4 generals, okay? And then you can read in the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter, I believe, all right? And how the 4 generals ruled after Alexander died. Cassander, Ptolemy, Antigonus, and Seleucus, all right? And this is history, man. You can't refute it, all right? This is well documented that after Alexander died, these 4 generals rose in his stead, and that's recorded in the Bible, all right? So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare ruled everyone in his place. Verse 9, after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth, right? Let's go back to that scripture, okay? 2nd Esdras 14:17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Right, man. Evils have increased, okay, on the world, man. And if you so-called white people, man, has caused the evils, man. You've been doing it since your forefathers, man. All right, and there's nothing new under the sun. So if you can receive it, you can receive it. All right, and Salakia for the slip of the tongue. Let's continue on. Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the Salakia. Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Right, man. Peace has been taken from the earth, man, by you so-called white people, man. All right. And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Right, man. And y'all killing one another, man. All right. You can see it, right? Russia divided against America. All right. Europe is divided. All right. You got you can see like the tensions brewing. All right. And that's how you know, man, that you so-called white people, man, you took peace away from the earth, because there's no peace on the earth, man. There's no peace until you're out of the power seat. And watch, you're going to see these European countries, man, getting in on each other, man. And then they're going to go against America, man, because they're going to be like, yo, America's the one causing all the problem. All right? Division has been set. All right, for each other. And you see it, man. Just turn on your local news. You see all these protesters fighting against their own people. All right. Even here in America, man, you got Republicans, Democrats, crackers banging Egyptians against the Egyptians. You see it, man. Killing one another, man. It's funny. All right. You see it throughout. You so-called white people, you're so divided, man, because you have polluted this whole earth with nothing but evil. So now evil's come upon y'all. All right, and let me get another article just to prove once again that peace was taken from the earth. This is from former U.S. Defense Secretary explains why a nuclear holocaust is now likely. Exactly, man. All right. From all your mercenaries and all your private contractors, all you have done is created, okay, a scenario for nuclear war. All right, and that's what's coming. That's why the elite are building bunkers, man. All right. The Stanford mathematician William J. Perry was a strategic nuclear advisor to U.S. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who got his wig split. All right. During the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. And then he became U.S. Secretary of Defense under President, okay, Bill Clinton, a.k.a., all right, he gets in, him and Monica Lewinsky, lying on their oath. All right, lying like these devils always lie. But anyway, goes on and says right here, just disappoint. He explained why the increased tensions between the U.S. and Russia isn't merely restoring those dangers, but is now exceeding them, despite the elimination of what were supposed to have been the threats that gave rise to the Cold War. The ideological threat of communism and the threat of monolithic Soviet bloc, which ended in 1991, was the breakup of the Soviet Union and the great of the Soviet's military alliance, the Soviet Union's equivalent of America's NATO military alliance, the Warsaw Pact. All those alliance members are now or are on the way of becoming members of America's NATO alliance, targeting against now lone nation of Russia, which is a lie, because Russia has the SCO, which is the other video you can see, all right? Because see, even, that's the thing about you crackers, man, you Americans, man. You got so much pride that you still have to show that, oh, America still has power. No, you don't, man, all right? Russia has the SCO, man. Russia has the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, all right? So, you know, the Russians are about to get it in on you crackers, man, here in America, all right? Are you so-called Americans, man? So there you have it, man, nuclear holocaust. And he's saying that it's now, okay, here because of what's been going on. And it's more evident, man. It's now likely, all right? And this is a Secretary of Defense, man, former Secretary of Defense, all right? This is out of his own mouth, man. So you can't say that, all right? You can't, no matter how you cut it, how you dice it, nuclear war is coming. If you don't want to believe the Bible, hey, why are these crackers saying it, man? These people that were in positions of power saying that nuclear holocaust is evident, all right? So there you have it, man, all right? And that last scripture, and I'm going to close out. Genesis 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right, man. And this is referring to Babylon, man, because Babylon, America, was that hammer, man, who cut the whole earth down, who broken the nations down, man, who's able to literally have private contractors run amok throughout all the various nations, man. Okay? But it's saying, how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right, because it's time for you to fall now, America. You have been causing a problem for too long, man. All right, your wickedness, okay, has been causing nothing but evils on the planet. And now it's time for you to be broken down, okay, into pieces. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Right, man, you weren't aware. All right, you can see it here in America, man. These people are not aware. These maggots in America are into their folly. Right now, they're about to celebrate another pagan holiday, Christmas. You think they're thinking about, okay, all the wars, all the America has been engaging in, all these private military contractors that the taxpayer dollars has been used, all right? Remember, you fucking Americans, man, these wars are being fought in your name, all right? So no matter how you could try to ignore it, you could try to put your head in the sand, these nations are going to attack you, okay? Because you live in America. It just makes sense, right? Verse 25, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Right, man? And what's the weapons of indignation, man? Intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. You can't say it enough, all right? Nuclear missiles coming to America, okay? Come against her from the uttermost border, right? The border, that's how you know this is talking about America, man, all right? Because she's the border of wickedness, man. So now it's coming against her borders, man. Open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Exactly, man. And that's talking about when them nukes fly, man. And that's just what it is, man. Verse 26, slay all her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. Exactly. The time of your visitation. Because why? Verse 28, the voice of men that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord, our power, the vengeance of his temple. Right, because the Lord's coming back with vengeance. Because at the end of the day, it's all about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's will. He's bringing war to America, all right? And it's all been set up because America, you have been raging war on the earth for far too long. You have become the hammer of the, okay, on the whole earth. So now it's time for you to reap what you sow. And that's death and destruction, all right? You, by allowing these private military contractors to continue to engage in black, shadowy war operations and profit off of it, all you have been doing is put a stain to the American empire's name. And these nations see it, all right? That's the thing, man. You American peons may not see it, but the other nations see it. They're like, it's America, man. All these private military contractors, okay, these mercenaries are all Americans, man. It's a fact. It's just a fact, man. All right? Verse 29, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work. What's the work? Raging war, raging destruction, wickedness, okay? Evils on the earth, man. Just like your forefather, Alexander, okay? Evils were multiplied when you crackers came onto the scene. That's how you know democracy is bullshit, man. Democracy is the work of the devil, man, all right? According to all that she hath done, do unto her, for she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Now, if this ain't talking about America, who's this talking about, all right? It's you crackers, man, you Caucasians, right? And with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I know it was a little bit long, but hey, that was the spirit. And Slakia for the slip of the tongue once again, you know, but I corrected myself. And once again, it's you so-called white people, all right? You're the problem, all right? You Edomites, okay? And by you paying off these, using your mercenaries to wage these wars, okay, in your name, all you're doing is causing the end to your demise, okay? End to your works, man, Salakia, which is going to be your demise, all right? And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honor to the apostle of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth to sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Keep enduring, keep fighting, keep making your body a living sacrifice for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I love you, brothers. All right, we're almost out of here. As you can see, man, they got these private military contractors, all right, causing nothing but havoc. And it's going to be the end of America because of it. And with that, shalom.